Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
This is Talk Radio.
After hours amusement for anarchists, air hostesses and jet-lagged Antipodeans.
G'day, coppers. Can I crash on your floor? The Late Night Alternative with Ian Lee on Talk Radio.
Okay, here's something that was sent in to me. This is in The Guardian. Mouthful by mouthful, the 2019 Bad Sex Award in quotes. Extravagant metaphors are indecently exposed in the shortlist for the Literary Review's annual Booby Prize for sexual scenes in fiction. So this is these are books that people have written, and they've written bad examples of sex in there. Let's get some. I love making music. Here we go. Let's have some. Here we go. So let's read some of these out. This is The River Capture by Mary Costello. This is an excerpt from it. Some of these are quite. I've not read these, so this might be quite raunchy. He clung to her, crying, and then made love to her, and went far inside her, and she begged him to go deeper. And, no longer afraid of injuring her, he went deep in mind and body.
Huh?
Among crowded organ cavities,
Oh my God.
past the contours of her lungs and liver, and shimmying past her heart, he felt her perfection.
I've not had my perfection felt for a long time.
This is a bit longer. This is from The Office of Gardens and Ponds by Didier Decoin. The earthy taste surprised her. When he was alive,
Oh God.
when it swelled inside Miyuki's mouth, Katsuro's penis had tasted of raw fish, of warm young bamboo shoots, and of and of fresh almonds when she finally released its juices. Now it was insipid and muddy to her tongue, like the pools of the temples when the Office of Gardens and Ponds had drained them for cleaning. Miyuki had loved this man. Not that he was a very good lover, but what did she know? After all, since she had experienced no one but him. He used to upset her by the way he silently loomed up behind her and took her by the shoulders, his nails scratching her flesh, his strong breath enveloping her neck, a smell of ripe fruit and poorly tanned leather.
Oh God.
His knee pushing against her lower back to open her tunic and expose a portion of naked flesh against which he would then rub his organ as if he were furtively making omelette rolls.
Oh my God. Where did that come from?
He did not derive his pleasure without her, but in front of her, and differently. Okay, I'm going to send you the link, because I'd like you to... We should alternate these, so I'm going to just email...
Who writes this and goes, yeah, that's fine, done, send?
Thank you, Cupcake, for this. Sent us this as well. I've sent you the thing, so
Right,
you should get the... I've sent it to your private, your personal...
I mean, it is private and personal.
Private,
so
personal email.
All right, let's have a look here. Here it is.
If you go down to the next one, City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert.
God.
0344 499 1000, by the way, if you want to join in the show. That's not really taken off yet, but it's still plenty of time. Plenty of time.
There was a sensation occurring here that I didn't even know could occur.
Stop the clock. This is actually genuinely erotic. You got like a sexy voice, it turns out.
I took the sharpest inhale of my life. I'm not sure I let my breath out for another 10 minutes. You must have, you'd be dead.
Okay.
All right, I won't interject any further. I do feel that I lost the ability to see and hear for a while, and that something might have short-circuited in my brain, something that has probably never been fully fixed since. My whole being was astonished. I could hear myself making noises like an animal. And my legs were shaking uncontrollably. Not that I was trying to control them.
Jeez, this is hot, man.
My hands were gripping so hard over my face that I left fingernail divots on my own skull.
Divots.
Then it became more. And after that, it became even more still. Then I screamed as though I were being run over by a train, and that long arm of his was reaching up against to palm my mouth, and I bit into his hand the way a wounded soldier bites on a bullet. And then it was the most, and I more or less died. Is everyone okay?
Okay, there's two more. Do you want to, you do the last three? You do it so much better than me. These are have all won awards for being bad descriptions of sex in novels in 2019. I think that's a little harsh. But Pax by
God.
John Harvey.
Here we go. She gave a yet deeper moaning sigh. Like breathing in, he saw the word he said... like breathing in, he saw the word he had said shiver and expand inside her. Her arms moved now and flexed. Out of here. Venus de Milo.
This doesn't even make sense.
She hasn't got any arms.
No.
He watched the death life fill her growingly.
These are all
growingly.
These are all about. I think it means getting a boner. These are all about like dead people having it off. What's wrong with the world?
She grabbed and caressed him with more muscle, more zest than ever before. Her long, lean arms were spider arms, while her kisses roved and dug. I see it, he said. You're the female praying mantis devouring her mate. I am. You are. I shall eat every shred of you. Mouthful by mouthful. Exactly. But boy, you taste good.
Wowzers.
She licked her lips and pulled him close, but now he was clasping too. It was kind of a slow wrestling. They were knitting each other into a loose, slipping knot. He was upside down over her.
Oh, say it.
Oh, God.
Say it.
God. Okay. He was upside down over her. Loving her bush and lick-kissing like eating her inner thighs, till at last they loved fully and later lay back. She did not chatter. Their arms stirred in a luxurious, desultory twining.
Wowzers. I don't even know. Maybe I've not had sex then. I thought I had.
That sounded more like gardening.
I thought I'd had sex, but these descriptions do not in any way tally with anything I've done with anybody.
The raw fish thing completely passed me by.
Okay, this is the last one. The Electric Hotel by Dominic Smith.
Oh, this is a long one, and that's not the first line of this story.
This is from a gentleman, so maybe we might get a little bit of accuracy here.
Okay, here we go. The actual lovemaking was a series of cryptic clues and concealed pleasures, a sensual treasure hunt. She asked for something, then changed her mind. He made adjustments and calibrations, awaited further instruction. For most of the proceedings, he felt his own desire as if it were tethered to a wire, a bright red balloon floating in his peripheral vision. But eventually, he burst through. It was toward the end, as their breathing quickened. Her stage directions had stalled out into silence. He looked to his right and noticed the scene in the smoky lens of the mirror above the bureau, saw his own body move with the steady rhythm of a bellows blowing air at the base of a fire.
What?
It brought back the early experiments of the Photographic Society in Paris.
What?
The wiring of a bird's feet to a camera gun, the mounting tension and uplift before a surge of exasperated flight. His own face looking back in the mirror, open-mouthed, flushed, euphoric, was a wild, strange thing to him. A beguiled stranger he'd never met, held in place by an infinite loop. Then his eyes locked on Sabine's in the mirror, and he could see that she was pleased with her staging, with her hair fanning across the pillow, with the way her ankles locked about his calves, so that her long white feet formed the perfect V. And it was the act of looking back at the film strip, juddering above the bureau, that sent her into a final boisterous delirium. She bit his shoulder, then whispered into the mirror, "Nous voilà!" Catching her breath. There we are.
Why don't you take your love and shove it up your big fat ass?
That's the one thing they didn't do.
That was quite remarkable. Didn't Morrissey win one of those awards for describing sex badly?
Let's have a look.
He did, didn't he? I think that may have even been... It was certainly in the last couple of years. I'm pretty sure that... that he did, didn't he?
Yeah, here it is. List of the Lost, it's called.
Oh, God.
Sex scenes in his book. List of the Lost Sway the Judges. It was announced in a lavish ceremony presented by Nancy DeLolio. Who else?
Oh, gosh.
Let's see.
Well, did it have this line in it?
Loving her bush.
Really worked there from Sam.
Loving her bush.
Aren't your balls normally held back by your willy?
Loving her bush.
Kath was a dick. Dirty pervert.
Don't be so silly, Kath.
You're a pervert.
Well, guilty.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Lewis.
As he dipped his hand into her blue box and ruffled around and pulled out he unwrapped her squeaky giant wrapper.
What?
Put a brown ball into his mouth.
You eating? What are you eating?
Maltesers. Yum, yum. Now that is talking my language. It's getting me quite hot under the collar.
You dirty pervert.
Are you crunching that or are you sucking on it, Lewis?
Oh. And you don't want him to crunch, you want him to suck.
Yes, he's crunching hard.
It is quite funny.
It is quite funny. It's a
bit funny.
You two sound like you're having a fun night.
Yeah, man. We got a dog and a cat.
And some Lindor.
And some Lindor.
Oh, Lindor.
You guys, what are you guys? You're not the couple that won the lottery, are you? Buying Lindor and having it on a Wednesday night?
Red wine, we got it all love.
Yeah, baby. Have you made love to each other yet?
No.
Well, make love.
Why?
To show.
No. Here we go. To burn off the Lindor.
There we go.
No, we're making love to Lindor chocolate.
Oh, even better.
I can't doubt. That's a threesome I could get behind.
Is there, you know when you get like given a box of Lindor, right?
Yeah.
And you go, and then they go in like 20 minutes, and you feel in the last 3 you feel sick, but you think it's only 3.
Push through it.
Got to finish these Lindor. You can have too many of those.
Yeah.
I think.
That's why they call Lindor because Lindor.
I think Lewis and his young love might have had too many.
No, I haven't had enough, darling.
Oh. Was there anything
I can talk. Look, listen to me, sir. I can talk very sensual over the radio.
Go on then. Go on then. Let's hear you talk very sensual over the radio.
Oh, you're hearing me now. So, sir, I would gladly come there and share my Lindor with you.
I'll pass, thanks, but cheers for the offer, love. Cheers for the offer.
So, sir, how about I come over there and unwrap your chewits? I had chewits the other day for the first time in years. They are bloody good.
Chewits are great. I bought them for you.
Kids found them in the car and they were like, Mum, what's this?
Yeah,
like they found my dirty secret.
Admittedly, I bought them for my kids and I forgot to give them to them, so I thought I'll have a packet.
Wasted on kids.
A packet and
that's so good.
Let's take the break. Just don't feel we've reached escape velocity yet. It's not been a bad show, but it's been a little bit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So when we come back, we'll do something.
Okay.
This is Talk Radio.
Countdown to the election on Talk Radio. The polls, the papers, the policies. Your election station. Talk Radio. Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
This is Talk Radio.